All right, welcome Eagle fans to the Week 6 Inside Look at Ouachita Christian Football, our weekly coaches show. I'm here with senior linebacker, number 9, Cole Hopkins. We're coming off a big win against Ouachita Parish and looking ahead to tomorrow night's game at Chip Luffy Field against the St. Frederick Warriors. I do want to say thank you to our partners, Sonic, located on Highway 65, North Monroe, and also to honeyholeshop.com, who makes sure we're outfitted to brave the elements, which it may rain tomorrow. Who knows? So I do want to thank them for sponsoring our coaches show. And we just want to talk a little bit of football. I've got Cole here. We want to talk about football in our area, especially concerning the 2023 season and the OCS Eagles, who have now extended their unbeaten, perfect record this year to 5-0. So, Cole, I've had the chance to watch you for several years. This year, you moved into a starting role at middle linebacker. What's that been like for you?
It's been really good. Last year, we had Colin Court in front of me, so I didn't get a lot of time on the field. But after I knew he was graduating, so I knew I had to step up and take his place, and it's been good ever since. And I felt like I've worked at it. I earned a spot, and I wanted to show them what I could do.
Yeah, well, I can actually attest to that. I saw you up here in the summer. You worked hard in the weight room and out there on the field getting in shape, and you've done a fantastic job. I think you're third or fourth on the team in tackles this season. You get to play alongside the likes of Noah Lovelady and Maddox King, and so a pretty formidable force there at our second level on defense. But you mentioned you didn't get to be on the field much, but you did get to be on the field. You're a man of many talents, as they say. What's some other things that you've done in the past?
Last year I had some kickoff. I got a position at that. I made a few plays on that, and actually long snap.
Yeah.
And that was something I figured out I could do, so I just did it.
And you still long snap right now? Yeah, and you do a great job with that.
Thank you.
Perfect on extra points for the last 50-something.
Yes,
I don't know, probably getting close to 60 extra points in a row now. So what are some other things that you like to do besides play football?
Work on the farm.
Work on the farm. And I talked to you earlier about your future. You graduate in May. What are your plans for next year?
Go to Louisiana Tech and major in ag business.
Ag business. Work on the family farm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, continue the legacy there.
Yes, sir.
So what about hobbies? What do you like to do?
Hunt, fish, and work on the farm.
Yeah, well, maybe I can teach you some things at some point. Yeah, right. No, I'm just kidding. No, you do a great job with that. And, your family has come through here. Your sisters played basketball. You've got a younger sister that I see out there cheerleading. But your parents, are here supporting you and your sisters and everything. You got an older brother, too.
Yes, sir.
That's already graduated. So how much does your family mean to you when it comes to your success on the field and here at OCS?
Good. They don't miss anything. They don't miss a game, pep rally. They come to everything, support, not just me, my sisters also. They've not missed a thing, and my grandparents too. Yeah. They don't miss much. So it means a lot.
All right, so back to football. If we make it to the Dome this year, this will be your 4th consecutive trip to the Dome. And this is something I like asking our seniors, because all the ones that have played for the last since they were freshmen have made that trip several times. Do you feel like that this team is capable of making a run at the Dome? And if you do, then why? What makes you think that?
I think we got a good chance, like for sure. At the beginning of the year, everybody was like, our offense is going to be our biggest problem. New quarterback coming in, but you saw at Ouachita, Luke stepped up and played a really good game, and I don't see anybody stopping us.
I agree.
Going to the Dome.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Your defense this year, there's 2 things that stand out to me. One thing is your defense, which you're the middle linebacker, kind of right there in the middle of it all. You've allowed about 8 points per game this year, and that's against some really good teams. I know there's some teams in there that we just really outmatched, but with Dallas Christian and Oak Grove and even Mansfield, who scored some points on us last year, and then Ouachita last week, 8 points per game. On top of that, plus 13 in the turnover margin. So we've had 15. We forced 15 turnovers or have 15 takeaways, and we've only turned the ball over twice. Is that something that you guys focus on, work on in practice? Is like take the ball away, get the ball any way that you can?
Yeah, every coach, defensive side of the ball, always preaches, go for the tackle. And as soon as somebody wraps up, go to start strip it, try to strip it. And they say every week, win the turnover war, win the turnover battle. And I feel like that's what we did against Washita.
Yeah, that really swung the game there in the first quarter. Those back-to-back fumbles that they had put us right back in the game, and then it was smooth sailing from there. All right, the last question, and then we're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with Coach Randall Bentley. All right, so Thursday night, St. Fred's. Tell Eagle fans why they should come out and watch that game.
It's St. Fred's, probably one of the biggest rivals we have. They always talk trash to us leading into the games, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's good. I mean, we've had a lot of success against them in the past 2 decades or so, to be honest. And so hopefully tomorrow night's going to be the same way. So you heard it here first, Eagle fans. Cole Hopkins says, come on out, watch the Eagles take care of business. I want to thank you for coming out here and let you know that it's a pleasure to watch you play football. Has been for the last couple of years, and I appreciate you spending time with us today. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with Coach Randall Bentley.
There comes a time in every dip's life when it's ready to leave the slow cooker, even buffalo chicken dip. So we put juicy chicken, buffalo sauce, and melty cheese in a portable crispy golden shell. Runaway dip, you're free now. Sonic $2.99 buffalo chicken dip bites.
All right, welcome back to the Inside Look at Washita Christian Eagle football. I'm here with Coach Randall Bentley. And, Coach Bentley, thank you for coming on, spending some time with us. I know it's kind of spur of the moment. I didn't realize that today also our football team is at the fair doing some community service. What is it that they're actually doing?
We help mentally and physically challenged kids at the fair, help them on rides, ride the rides with them, just kind of buddy up with them,
yeah,
show them what's going on.
Spend some time with them. Yeah.
They love it, and our kids love it. They love it. I mean, it's one of the highlights every year of the juniors and seniors. So.
Yeah, well, that's a great thing, and I knew that was today, but I never put the 2 and 2 together. But I'm glad that you're here with us. I know that people who go to the OCS football games see you on the sidelines. You've been here. How long have you been here?
Wow, I think this is like my 17th year.
17th year, and so the first thing, you've seen a lot of football. Mm-hmm. You've seen a lot of wins on the football field.
Right.
I'll say our win against Washita last Thursday, all time for our program, was the 399th win. So our next win is going to be 400 wins. What kind of milestone is that? I mean,
that's
how
huge.
big? Yeah, that is huge.
I mean, that's unbelievable. It'd be interesting to see how many of those has Coach Fitz you've been involved in, not only as a head coach but as assistant coach.
Well, I'm sure it's quite a bit of them.
Yeah, and I feel blessed that I've been involved in however many that we've won since I've been here.
Yeah, well, I asked Coach Fitzhugh just about the secret sauce to a program, and he talked about the tenure of his coaches, how long he's been there. It's not a revolutionary playbook or a secret talk that he gives everybody. He basically said it's honestly about love, and he's taking these kids to the fair with our students here, and he's loyal to his assistant coaches, and I know it's a pleasure for you guys to work with him, especially. I mean, a 72% win percentage, that's for our program, and I think Coach Fitzhugh's around that number. He's 200 and close to 250 wins, but he's been a big part of this program. So I see you out there, you waving your hands, especially when it comes to special teams and defense. So what is your specific role, I guess, title? I mean, I know that doesn't contain to a specific thing, but what's your title for the team?
I do the special teams, and then I call the plays usually on defense. Me and Steven kind of confer, and then I signal the plays in and things.
Yeah, and you work with the linebackers pretty closely?
Linebackers, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so just had one on here with Cole Hopkins.
Yeah, Cole Hopkins came in. If you'd have told me Cole would start at middle linebacker when he was a freshman and sophomore, I told you he's crazy. But, he really came on his junior year, started deep snapping for us. Then, Colin was out for a couple games, or he was injured for a couple games, and Cole came in. And one game he had like 12 tackles and all this different kind of stuff. So started playing on special teams, kickoff team, and all that kind of stuff. And it was his to lose coming into the season. We're going to give the seniors and those kind of guys that have the number of workouts the first look. And he added a lot of workouts, and he's kept it through the entire time. So.
Well, you can tell by seeing him that, if you look at him just walking around school, he's worked hard. He slimmed up a good bit, put on some muscle, and I think he's done an outstanding job this year. And I mentioned to him that, playing alongside people like Noah Lovelady and Maddox King, who have a different kind of style of play, but, just a fantastic linebacker core that we have. And hopefully that's a legacy that will continue for years to come. I mean, all three of those guys graduate this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing. And then we also lose our rover, who's another linebacker, Parker Payne. But we have a lot of those guys. I mean, that's one reason when I came here that we went to the 3-4 stack or whatever you want to call our defense, because we have a lot of those kind of kids in that size range and that speed range, and we feel like we can always have those guys around, and they can play a lot of different positions and everything else. I mean, Hopkins played nose guard some against Washita Parish, and he got bowled around a couple times, but he played his gap and stuffed his gap, and I mean that's really what we need him to do. So. Yeah,
you mentioned Parker in the rover position, and last week during the game, during the call of the game, I talked about the rover position for a minute and said it's kind of like a hybrid position. They can get up on the line, and get after the quarterback. They can go to the linebacker position and help with run support, or they can even slide off into coverage and cover a tight end or a slot receiver. And it's a position that I guess, it's not really new, but in the past decade or so, it's kind of one that I've heard it called several different things, a star or something like that. But, it's a pretty cool position. And I imagine for you as a coach, incorporating that scheme into your defense helps a lot, gives different looks to the offense.
Right. I mean, that guy can play everything from a defensive end to a true outside linebacker to a strong safety. We usually don't put him deep or anything, but he can man up on the backside of the flat, tight end. He blitzes. He does everything. Yeah, and it's hard to find someone like that, and especially a first-year player. It's tough to get it all in. But Parker's done a good job and worked really hard. And last year he would have gotten more playing time, but he broke his leg and was out, and finally came back towards the end of the season. But he really worked hard in the off season and. Again, he was another one that came in, going to get a chance, and he hadn't let go of it. So,
all right. So I do want to talk about last week's game specifically. Many people, including myself, thought it was going to be one of those low-scoring, hard-hitting, in between the 20s, kind of back and forth games. But it turned out not to be that at all. In the first 2 minutes, that whole theory just had been burst. And then our defense comes up with 2 big turnovers, back-to-back turnovers, and score, boom, boom, to pull the game even. But I want to talk about offense for a second, because I know you're kind of working with the defensive side and special team side most of all. But our offense last week seemed to turn a corner, especially with the passing games. First game this year, we've had over 300 yards passing, and we had 4 touchdowns, and even one of your defensive players threw a touchdown pass. But
and I work with the offensive line also.
Okay, yeah, well,
I've had 2 sons that come through, so it's kind of.
Well, you got one that's there right now, so.
It's kind of just like, okay, what else can you do when we're on offense? Well, okay, I can coach these guys.
That's
and
right.
I coached them in college before. So.
Yeah, well, you want to win, so you'll go wherever that's needed. So that kind of offensive outburst, especially with the passing game, would you attribute that to quarterback Luke Vidrine, his growth, or was that a specific scheme for that specific opponent?
I think it's both. I think Luke's getting better every week, and I think the scheme that they had, I think we were able to tap into some things, especially when you got guys like Hamby and Hudnall and Turpin and some of these other guys that play receiver for us. I think that Drew Vidrine and Robbie DeVinny do a good job, in the passing game, looking for those those deals, and then when you get Luke stepping his game up, I think that it's just come all together at one time.
Yeah, I thought he was more accurate this week. I thought he made better decisions with the ball this week, and there was openings there. He was able to push the ball downfield, especially earlier in the game, and that was really the momentum swing. So a 48-14 victory against excuse me, against a 5A opponent. But I guess my understanding with the new LHSA ruling is there's no such thing as 5A or 4A anymore. There is, I guess, right now because the districts are still set up that way. But you may know more about that than I do. But there's a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
The main point of the recent LHSA vote, which happened yesterday, they voted yes to hold on to the definition of select and non-select, which ultimately means that this year's playoffs are going to be the exact same as last year's playoff, and the pools from each division are going to be the same as they were last year. Do I understand that correctly?
That's my understanding,
Okay.
and that's really the only thing that I really cared about is okay, who are you going to play in the playoffs? That's the only thing that really that I worry about, and and they said that stays the same, so. Yeah. That's fine with me. I mean,
check it off and move on. Yep.
Yeah, and I also want to talk about Coach Moser on offense. He does a great job with the offensive line, and I'm just lucky to be able to go out and help him out, and those three guys on offense do a really good job. So.
Yeah, I had Coach Moser on this show a couple weeks ago, and he talked about the beginning of this year. You had some returning starters, whereas last year, you could kind of pencil Ryder in, even though it was his first time to play offensive line, right. On a not a permanent basis because he plays defense a lot too now. He plays defense more this year than he did last year at this point in the season. So he's going both ways, which means he's in great shape. But I say his offensive line play has improved since last year. What is Ryder going to do next year? What are his plans for next year, if you don't mind me asking?
He's going to go to college somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still – there's a lot of colleges talking to him, and we're just trying to set up some visits for some places and all that kind of thing. And it's going to be exciting to see where he winds up, and with the portal and everything and how everything works. I mean, it's just it's not anymore. It's not really where you start; it's where you finish.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope he chooses a place and is able to stay there for all 5 years, 4 years, however long it is. But anymore, it's I mean, we see it every day in college. I mean, anybody that's watched college football at all in the last 3 years has seen a tremendous change in the way teams are selected and the way players are recruited and everything else. And it hurts high school kids.
I was going to say one of the main side effects is the impact it has on high school kids. Because some of them commit early, but that doesn't happen as much as it used to, because there are so many moving parts and pieces. A team, that wasn't even looking at you may desperately need an offensive tackle, and you'll get a call out of nowhere. Yeah. So I know Ryder will do well. He's so fun to watch on Thursday nights and Friday nights mostly, but I know you're proud of him. He's a great kid too. So we've talked about a little bit of offense and some of our coaching in the tenures, and we talked about the linebacker position.
Yeah, and what's funny, you're talking about coaching tenure. This is my 17th year, and I'm the new guy on the staff.
You're the youngest.
Yeah, everyone has been here longer than me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not the youngest.
No, yeah.
But as far as years at OCS, yeah, I've been here the shortest amount of years.
Yeah.
So that's
crazy.
just really a testimony to the school and to the, to Coach Fitzhugh and all the people that were here before him and everything else. So.
Yeah, and the support of the fans. We pack it out.
The families and that make the school what it is. I mean, it's just an unbelievable place.
So one major jump that I've seen on defense this year, at least, I've seen it with my own eyes, but especially on paper, is our secondary. That would be our defensive backs. And I know that's kind of Coach Fitzhugh works a lot with them and some other guys, but this year we've thrown the ball for 898 yards with a 57% passing completion percentage on 67 attempts. Okay, our opponents have only thrown the ball for 275 yards on 83 attempts. So they've had 20% more attempts and only 25% of the yards that we've had, and a 37% pass completion. Our secondary is as good as I've seen since I've been here for 7 years. It's as good as I've seen in the 7 years that I've been in here. But one major thing, 9 interceptions. We've taken the ball away 9 times through the air on defense, and Luke has not thrown a single interception. On top of that, we forced that's right. We forced 6 fumbles, and we've only lost 2. So I mentioned this to Cole, but our turnover margin is plus 13. Right. We've had 15 takeaways and only given the ball away twice. And I know Fitzhugh is adamant about the turnover battle. He wants to be plus 2 every game. We're above that this season. So I think all coaches can agree on that. Even Cole said that. But is the focus there on offense to limit mistakes, or do you tell your defense to, hey, play aggressive, hit hard, get after the ball, and try to take it away?
Yeah, it's both. I mean, we always talk about taking care of the football, the right grip on the football, the way you carry the football, watching the ball in your hands, the quarterback, making good decisions. Don't make any bad decisions to, and the thing is, a lot of times when you got a good running game, you got a sophomore quarterback. I mean, his job, don't feel like you have to come out and carry the team on your back. Now he does a good job of hitting passes when we need and this kind of thing, but it's not like we have in the past Landon Graves and Hunter Herring and some of these guys where it's like okay, jump on my back, here we go. Now I think Luke's going to be that guy, but as a sophomore coming in, I mean, but you can tell he's getting better every game, and his main thing is don't turn the ball over, give us a chance to win, and then we harp turnovers on defense. We talk about it all the time. Attack the football, and attack the quarterback when he's trying to throw it and everything like that. So, we really stress it.
Yeah, pretty fortunate situation for Luke to walk into with a seasoned, experienced defense that has been to the state championship. All 3 years of their career. An offensive line that's got a full year of experience under their belt, and then of course Zach White, at the running back, and players like Tate and Jet that you mentioned, and then you mentioned Patrick Turpin. He's played with him. They're the same age, so he's played with him all growing up, and also gives him time to grow and to develop as a quarterback, like you said, instead of having to feel the burden of win or lose based on him. So I think he's done a fantastic job, and I'm really excited to see him this Thursday. So the last thing that I want to ask you, okay? Recently, we've had a lot of success against the Warriors of St. Frederick.
Right.
Overall, since 1977, we're 31-11 when we face off against them. Wow. But you mentioned and that since you've been here, only 1 loss. So I'll take it a few years back and say in the last 20 years, we're 18-1 against the Warriors. Pretty good success. So having said that, what can fans expect to see from the Warriors this year when we face off against them tomorrow?
Well, they got a young team. I mean, they got some young guys at quarterback and running back and some things like that. A lot of potential, just still struggling to kind of get their legs under them as far as the passing game is concerned and that kind of thing. But, they're coming along and they're playing better. They had a tough early season. They played Gina and they played Franklin Parrish and some of these people like this. And, but then they got on track here the last couple of weeks. And, we just got to go out and play our game and don't get caught up in the hype of it all and everything like that. I mean, there's a lot of noise talking. I mean, when your schools are that close together and they know each other and everything else, I mean, there's going to be talk. And, we told our kids just, do the right thing. Don't be stupid. Go out and play the game and let the talking, let your pads do the talking, let your play do the talking. And and always glorify God with everything you do, and don't be that team or those guys that showboat or any of that kind of stuff. Come out, play the game hard, get after it. When it's all over, well then you can go from there. But when the game's on, go out, smack them in the mouth till they make you stop. Yeah. And, I mean, that's what I tell the linebackers every week. So,
any concern about the playing surface? Natural grass for the first time this season. Maybe some rain in the forecast. any preparation for that, or you just both teams have to play in the conditions? Let's go.
Hey, not from defense. That's a great thing about playing defense. I don't care if it rains.
Yeah. All right.
I'm good with it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking your time and coming on and talking to the people who are going to watch this, the fans of OCS Eagle and football. And we got a great season so far. The first half has concluded 5-0. We're going to try to win these last 5 games. I want to thank all of you for watching. But tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Chip Luffy Field, just south of the school, a couple miles at St. Frederick High School. Hope all you can be there, make some noise, and watch our boys go to work. Thanks again for watching.
One more thing.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
There comes a time in every dip's life when it's ready to leave the slow cooker, even buffalo chicken dip. So we put juicy chicken, buffalo sauce, and melty cheese in a portable crispy golden shell. Run away, dip. You're free now. Sonic $2.99 Buffalo Chicken Dip Bites.